Today we are going to be talking about the role of governors in Nigeria. But before we go ahead, let us watch this video.
Dear brothers and sisters, yes, I am in charge here today, but you are running a constitutional democracy. I will appeal to you to summon the governors. Some of them, call them up. I'm doing my best to improve the revenue of the country, giving them their due. But they must equally be sympathetic to the populace. They must consider the need of the local people. People reside in the local government. People are in the local community. That is where they reside. That is where they feed. That is where they garden. That is where they cook. That's where they farm. If the local government are not free, leaders, don't hang on to the number. We have 774 local government. It's just a number. Is it effective? Is it reaching the real people? Who is being held accountable for this money? And when we want the votes, we go to the locals. When we get the votes, we move to Abuja. I think we have to collectively join hands. I need for you to get us a committee of people that can really embark on the campaign for our value to change. Our brothers and sisters, it is disheartening watching the TV and see the number of people in IDPs. No sincere leader in this country will be happy seeing that. We have to pull together to rescue Nigeria from banditry. For example, there's a big economy that is being a problem to Nigeria. The livestock and animal husbandry. Ordinary dairy farm can grow an economy. Not to talk of yogurt and many other things that you can come from animal. Talk to the governors. Let them make lands available. Talk to others to collaborate with, the state. The lands are in the hands of the state governors. They can make provision for it. We are ready to put funds in place to help the herders rear their animal in a very, very, very polite way. We can do it. We are going to do it. If Brazilians are doing it, if they are doing it in Holland and other places, we can do it.
That is the president addressing the group of governors in Nigeria. The governors are like the mini president of their state. They are the chief executive of their state, just like the president is the chief executive of the federation. That is how powerful the governors are. Let nobody deceive you that they have no power. Most of the problems we have in Nigeria stem from the inability of the government to act well. Understand that. If you think the governors are not powerful, please try, if you are living in their state, try to do anything that looks like it wants to touch his political career. That is when you will know that no matter how far, no matter how hidden you are, he can fish you out with the security apparatus. If you think the governors are not powerful, make a social media post that is critical of their activities. You will be fished out within 24 hours. Look at what happened in Kano State recently. One social media influencer and political commentator, Bello Galadanchi, visited a primary school in which he made a video and posted online of the government's neglect on that primary school. The following day, the governor paid a visit to that primary school. Can you see, of secondary school? The governor paid a visit, meaning that they are aware. That is how aware the governors are of all activities going on in their state if they are interested in it. If you think the governors are not powerful, remember when the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State, he had problem with the then President Olusegun Obasanjo, in which the federal allocation going to the state was withheld for several years. How did he do? He was able to take care of the state to the point that what he did within that time is the kudos that he has that propelled him to become the president of Nigeria. That is how powerful a state governor can be. If you think a state governor is not powerful, look at this Peter Obi, the former governor of Anambra State. Up till now, what he's using to campaign that all of us should vote for him to become president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is what he did in Anambra State, not what he did as a private citizen. If you think the governors are not powerful, look at what Kwankwaso did in Kano State. When he was the governor of Kano State, he sponsored indigent students, indigent meaning people who were poor, they don't have people to sponsor them. He sponsored them abroad, free scholarship. They were able to go and study various courses. They are now back working in various parastatals and agencies of government. If you think governors are not powerful, look at what a governor did to State House of Assembly in his state recently, because what he was at the loggerhead with the state legislators. That's how powerful a governor can be. If you think a governor is not powerful, go and check whenever it is time for election, council election that concerns them. How come the insecurity of the state is paused until the election is over? How were they able to conduct the elections of the state when there is serious insecurity? All those states that you hear in Nigeria that are plagued with insecurity, how do they conduct elections in those states? Because that is their priority. The governors are so powerful that they control the construction in the state, healthcare, schools, and education. They are giving budgetary allocation for all those things. Whenever you have problem in all those sectors, blame the governors and stop blaming the president. The president is only in charge of federal institution in your state, not the state institution. I'm bringing this in because there is a general thing that said problem shared is half solved. Me, I also say problem known is problem solved. If you don't even know the source of the problem, how do you provide solution to it? See, most of this problem, once we know that it is coming from the governors and we begin to be critical, all of us begin to call these governors to order, you will not hear billions of naira being embezzled after they have left office. Have you had billions of naira that most of them are under the radar of the EFCC now because of the money they embezzled? How were they able to embezzle those money? It's because the masses were blind to them. You think, most of us think everything is federal, everything is federal. See, 80% of activities is embedded in the states. And if we hold them responsible, there won't have been any need for us to be migrating from our states to the other, whereby you are going to be treated as a second-class citizens. We can see now a lot of things is happening in Nigeria. I don't want to go into that politics or tribal politics, but you can see what is going on in Nigeria now, whereby somebody will live in the state, somebody will even be born in the state, and he will be up to 70 and 70 something years in that state, he will still be considered as a non-indigent. Why? If his state was viable enough for him, he will have been there, and he will have been there operating confidently as a full citizen. That is where we found ourselves. So let us focus on the governors. Whenever there is gubernatorial election, please let us ensure that we elect competent hands that we know he has the capacity to lead and is ready to listen to the masses. On insecurity, as I have already told you earlier, whatever method that they use to suspend insecurity, whenever they want to conduct council election, they can also use that method to suspend it throughout the year in their state. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this video, thumb up as usual, subscribe to all our social media platforms, and always remember to relax and smile.